Good afternoon, friends, followers, channel members. Welcome back after what has been a rather eventful week away for myself. More about that later. But great to be back. I've missed you all. What better way to start back than with a test flight for Fly-by-Wire. This one is quite special. And for the first time now, this particular version of the aircraft no longer uses any sounds from Azobo. It is fully Fly-by-Wire's own custom sound pack, if you like. So we're going to go and click some buttons, we're going to open some doors, we're going to ding some cabins, and there's a few things that I want to try out once we get into the flight deck. And we're just in a short flight, it's an hour's flight, and we're going to check out the recently released freeware scenery of London Stansted, which I've seen knocking about. That looks absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to see that as well. So I hope you have all had a really great week, and great to see so many of you here already as we come back, as I say, after a week off. So hello to the channel members. Hello Pilot Pat, Brian, Christian, Hyacinth, good to see you, Reslovan, Music, Chumi, Dark Fury as well, Art Pepper, great to see you. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitch, and of course we are on YouTube, as always. So you can tell me what I've missed over the last week. I've had hardly any internet signal as well while I've been away, so I've literally been completely out of the loop. Christian, does the toilet flush? I don't know. I've spent enough time near a toilet over the last week. That gives you some insight into how my holiday went. If I tell you as well that we have 4 children, I'm sure you can make the rest up yourself. Oh, right, let's get on board. So for a test flight, as per usual, there is no VATSIM, there is no traffic, we've got nothing else loaded in, just us, hopefully reducing the chance of crash to desktops as well. I'm going to get the flight pad turned on, and then we're going to start getting the luggage loaded, and we also want the GPU coming over as well. So if we can just call that GPU, here he comes. Air Trooper 37, good to see you. Chumi, how's the vacation? Let's get in the air. Let's get in the air. And I'm also cautious that it's nearly tea time here in the UK. Right, that's done. So I'm just going to mute all the music and everything, and what I want to do is turn the sounds up, because that's effectively what we're testing here. All new sounds, no longer have we got Azobo sounds. So let me just go ahead and stop that music. There we go. Right, so also, as I say, I'm just going to turn up the audio, so you guys should hopefully be able to hear when I start clicking away things now a little better. So first thing I'm going to do is, well, obviously I'm going to just turn the battery on. I'm not going to connect external power just yet because I don't want to get the fans all going, not for the moment. So let's get the batteries on. So there you can just hear the chimes, few of the relays, and little clicks as well of the buttons. Really nice. And the next thing I want to do, obviously no screens at the moment, but the next thing I want to do is just check down here. Oh, actually I think I'm going to need to get some power to the aircraft. Okay, that's fine. Let's get some power to the aircraft, and then what I want to do is I want to get the doors open. And they have gone into, Boris the sound guy has gone into so much detail that the difference that you've got here with the cockpit door that you can see, if it's open and you open the flight deck door, you open the cabin doors, or you press the chime, you know, the passenger seatbelt signs, those chimes, they sound different from the door being closed to the door being opened. And I think that's the first time we've had that. So looking forward to hearing that. But anyway, let's go with the external power. Let's go get that set up. Just while that's set and all the fans are blowing, we'll just do the usual. See if I can remember these flows. And all the clicks, of course, as we like them. Leave the fuel pumps off for the moment, and let's just check regarding our fuel. Operational flight plan is planned block fuel of, oh look at that, bang on 4.5 tons. Bet you dime to the dollar that's not what we're going to be taking. So currently it is 230 at 9. Visibility is still good. Actually, visibility, nothing really looking like it's going to get in our way. So, in that case, we'll take 5 tons. We'll take 5 tons, which is 500 tons extra. And let's get that loaded in. There we go. Leave that on real time. Okay, defueling is in progress. So let's have a little play, shall we? So at the moment our flight deck doors are open, and as I say, I'm just going to turn this right up for you, so see if you guys can hear this. So if I turn the seatbelt signs on now, okay, you are hearing a little double chime there. That is because self-loading cargo is running in the background as well, so you have to ignore that. It's the first chime we're listening to. But now if I lock those doors, there, did you hear the door close? That's new. And now if we play these, do you hear the chime? Do you know what? I need to close self-loading cargo down. Don't have to do this. Let me just close that down. There we go. That's gone. Right, now if I play with the seatbelt signs, I don't know if you can I can just hear them. I don't know if you guys can. I can just hear it, but it is very faint, as you would expect, of course, because the door's closed. So if I can open that, there's the door unlocked. We'll play with those again. There you go, much louder. So that's really neat that they've managed to sort of code the, managed to replicate the sounds being different, of course, to doors being open and closed. So what about the cargo hold down below? We'll leave that open for the time being, and we'll call the luggage. And you can just hear that, I think. The door's still open. I don't know if it changes when you lock that. No, to be fair, I mean, that's down beneath us and slightly behind, so that probably doesn't make too much difference. But that's really neat, and particularly the door sound as well. I quite like that. That's new and nice. We're also going to listen to the APU when I fire that up as well in a moment. Anyway, let's just continue with the flows. That's as I say, if I can remember them. Christian, you still want the triple click sound? Yeah, I don't know why that appears to be missing, because we wouldn't, of course, do our engine fire test until we've heard that. So we can continue and do that now. So we obviously still get that, and that still works. There we go. We can't do the engine fire test until that's all done, ordinarily. What's our QNH then? QNH here is 1011, and let's go ahead and pop that in over here. These new textures are looking very nice, aren't they? Little reflections on the screens as well. Look like real glass now. 1011, that's all set up as well. On to the glare shield, 1011 again. Just pop the constraints on. Flight director says 1 and 2. I know I'm going to be at about 10,000 feet, just because I'm vectoring myself out. No, we're not having air traffic control for a test flight. So that's fine, and iris alignment as well is going to be in about 6 minutes. Refueling page is still open. Let's get the brightness turned up on these. There we go. So, as always when doing a test flight for FlyByWire, well, not as always, but certainly usually, this is a pre-release version that is still being tested, so it is not yet available to download. Shouldn't be too long though. Sounds don't take too long to come out. These textures are looking really nice. I don't know if they've done anything with these since I've been away, but this is looking really nice and sharp. Iris alignment looks good, and cabin pressure is all fine. Okay, right, passengers. I do want to get passengers on board. I do like to have some unwitting passengers on test flights. So let me just get that loaded in, and we shall start that, courtesy of FlyByWire, of course.
Cabin crew, yeah, we've completed the checks, so now you can open the doors. Okay, the messages.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, so passengers are now boarding, which is fine. Let me continue setting the aircraft up. It feels like a while since I've done this. Right, let's come down here, and we want the... Can I turn this brighter as well? Atsu, AOC, init press. This is the first time we've been in the sim since our disastrous attempt to land in Pero the other week, so that was fun. Back to the AOC. Performance, weights and balance. We've already sorted our fuel out, 176 passengers, and we'll leave the zero fuel weight for the moment. Payload, that's all in. Lovely. Okay, so aircraft status is an out-of-date AIRAC cycle, but we have the correct LEAP engines, and we have the IRS still aligning. Init request. FlyByWire 5680, the alternate is London Gatwick. We're going to Stansted, cost index of 8, level 390. I think that's quite high given the short duration of the flight, but never mind. Temperature, yeah, that's fine for a test flight, as is the Troppo. Okay, so our flight plan, we're going to be departing today runway 25, and no SIDS from Belfast, so we're just straight out to Lisbon. And insert. Do we go by the Isle of Man or Nimat? I think I need the charts up for that. We're actually on the Q39 airway, which doesn't pass any of those. So let's just pop that in as it is. So it should be Lisbon, Ringer, and then Slilja. That's correct. Oh, and then it's taken us to the island. Okay, that's strange. This is where it's bugged, and I can't wait until the custom flight. I should have flown this particular route in the custom flight plan version, because we wouldn't have had this issue. Right, so I need to clear some of these out. Let me clear out, because after Q39 it should go to Nomzu. So let me just scroll down. There it is. So let me clear out Lisbon. Let me clear out Isle of Man. Let me clear out Silja. So we seem to have got them twice for some reason. So we should have Lisbon, then Ringer, then Babgu, then Well, we should have then, after Babgu, it should be Etiga. And insert. Let's just check, see what that looks like. There we go. That's right. And then our arrival is to ILS runway 22, and that's using the Listo 1 Lima. Listo 1 Lima arrival. And that is via, is it via Abbott or Laurel? Let me have a quick check at the charts for that. Listo, it's going to be via Laurel. Bit of a weird arrival in Stansted. But I'll talk about that en route. 341 miles, and our flight plan gives us 349 miles. Excellent. RadNav page, I can leave that blank for this particular departure, it's only a test flight. I didn't want to do a real ops flight on the first flight back in case I forgot how to do stuff. Our trip wind is a tailwind of 14, that is good. And we've got 3.2 tons and 4.9 tons of fuel on board. Oh, that's dispatch. Let's just tell them we're busy. 4.9. Get that in. And that's everything populated. Takeoff weight of 64 tons. Alternate fuel is going to be about a ton, so let's add that in 1.0. There we go. That gives us an extra flying time of 34 minutes. Performance then. Transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. And thrust reduction, acceleration is 1268. That's close enough for jazz. Flaps 1. We'll do toga and calculate the V speeds. Good, okay, let's have a quick look at the departure. So as I said, there's no SIDS for this particular departure. It is down to the pilot to maintain terrain clearance. So we're straight out, left turn to Lisbon. Just check out minimum safe altitude, 3,400 as we depart, and then coming up to 3,500. So if we did have a problem, then we'd need to make sure we get above those altitudes for whatever reason before we contemplate what we're doing next. Then our route takes us from Lisbon, Ringa, Babgu, and then down the Quebec 39, and off we go. No ATC, so we've given our own climb altitude of 10,000 feet. We're parked at stand 15, so quite a short push before we go, so we'll push back from here. And then, where's my airport chart gone? There you are. So yeah, short push, taxi down via Alpha, and straight out. Okay, so the weather here doesn't look too bad. Looks a little bit cloudy, but visibility is fine. If we had a major problem, I'd come back and return here. No issues with doing that. Threats to be aware of. Already said that we're basically on our own. We have to maintain our own terrain clearance, and that shouldn't be a problem. I'm not going to do a full departure brief, an emergency brief. Not for a test flight. Anyway, that's all done. So, this APU. Let me mute the music. And let's have a listen to our APU. Actually, is refueling complete? Yeah, refueling is complete. So, let's get the signs on. Seatbelt signs are on. And let's have a listen to that APU, shall we? So, fuel pumps coming on as well. APU master and start. system, so I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that this version of the Airbus is not yet available for download. All of the new systems will shortly be merged into the developer build and the upcoming experimental version. For now, please listen to your cabin crew, get yourselves seated with your seatbelts securely fastened, and as the ground crew finish loading the last of your luggage into the aircraft, we look forward to a safe, smooth departure, and we hope you enjoy your flight. Once again, on behalf of the FlyByWire team, thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today, and we look forward to delivering you a safe journey. Hey guys, so I just realised the microphone was muted. Apologies for that. No, what I was saying prior to that is that the floor textures that you can see are now being provided by Rex and their airport enhancement mod, and as you can see, all the ground textures look a lot more realistic, a lot dirtier than the default, and even all of the oil stains look different in every single one, don't they? So that's really, really nice. So we're getting pushed back now. We've run the before start checks below the line and to the line, but you missed that because my microphone was on mute. I'm out of practice, my apologies. So now we're getting, as I say, we're getting pushed back. We'll let that complete. CFG's 30.2, and we'll get the engine started. Starting engine 1, engine mode selected to ignition, and starting engine 1. So Christopher, the pushback tool, it's not in the dev. No. This is the toolbar pushback available to download free from flightsim.to. Great little device. And did I have a nice holiday? It was interesting. It was interesting. More on that later. Yeah, these ground textures look great now, don't they? Very different to the default. Okay, let's end that pushback just there. Let's get the parking brakes on. Engine number 1 is still stabilizing. And let's have a listen to those engines. There was a barking dog sound there as well. I don't know if you heard that, but I just heard it. Again, though, that's usually heard more on the A321 than the A320, sat in the flight deck. So, starting engine 2. Andres Duke, you've just fired a load of questions at me and I've lost track. I don't use a graphics preset. I have tailored the graphics to suit. But yeah, they're sounding nice. Now, I don't know if anything will change if I close the flight deck door. Or rather, if I open it. Those engines sound the same to me. But the flight deck door is now closed. Speed brake showing. Why is that showing? That's a hardware issue. I've been having that for a while. So, I can fix it. It's fine. Doing that. Anyway, engine 1, engine 2 is stabilized. So, engine 1 selected to norm, APU bleed off, APU masters off, anti-ice not required, spoilers, rudder, flaps, trim. And that's all set. After start checklist, anti-ice is not required, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 30.2, rudder trim set 0. So there's our taxi out. Let's do a flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. Brian, I can kill that if you want. Let me get rid of that. So let's get ready to roll out then, shall we? We'll release the parking brakes.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
I see FlyByWire has still got the American cabin crew. Slightly annoying. Can I list the new sounds that they are listening for? Actually, I can't. I'm not even. I'll have a look once we're airborne, just to see if if Boris has provided a list. But I don't think it has. I think it's basically just everything. I don't know, was an amalgamation between Azobo sounds and FlyByWire sounds, and now all the Azobo sounds have all gone. Once we're airborne, I'll see if I can do that for you. Dr. Magic, you were enjoying the smooth jazz. Well, never mind. So, let's just do a PEDS check. No change to performance. Engine out procedure. Yeah, we can land back here. Departure matches what we have in the FMGC. Stop altitude is 10,000 below. Before takeoff checklist to the line. Flight controls have been checked. Departure briefing semi-complete. Flap setting config 1. FMA takeoff data 131 magenta 131 blue 136 magenta. Climb nav blue 10,000 blue 1FD2 and toga. Transponder is set. ECAM memo takeoff no blue. Electronic flight bag is stowed. And yes, we do have the new Stansted scenery to fly into, which I have not seen because I've been away. So I'm looking forward very much to seeing that. Cardinal 22, with regards to which engine you start first, all depends on the airline. If you're not doing a single engine taxi, then it really doesn't matter which one you start first. Doesn't matter one bit. But if you are doing a single engine taxi, which a lot of airlines do because it saves fuel, then you start engine 1 first. And just to save things being different every single time, airlines will just, if they're more used to doing single engine taxis, they'll start engine 1 first every time, whether they're doing a single engine taxi or not. Okay, before takeoff checks then, so brake temperatures, they're all fine. Let's get the lights on and we'll go and line up. So, strobes, takeoff lights, runway lights, nose lights, packs 1 and 2. And we can get the transponder on as well. TCAS to TARA. And let's roll out. for takeoff checks below the line. Cabin is secured for takeoff. In fact, is it secured for takeoff in self-loading cargo? Yes, it is. Engine mode selected known. TCAS TARA. Packs off. Anti-ice not required. Horatio, the new Flight Plan Manager version of the A320 isn't available yet. Well, at least I don't think it is. It's not been released. I've flown it, but I'm part of the QA team. Hence why I've got this version to show off today. As soon as it's ready, I'm sure it will be released. Oh, I didn't plan on breaking quite that much. Andres and Peter, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. We're getting very close to 15,000 subscribers, aren't we? We're going to have to do something special for that. Answers on a postcard. And look at all those touchdown textures. Rubber marks. Great stuff. Okay, let's go. Take off, start the chrono. Set 50% N1. Engine stable and set takeoff thrust. Mantoga, SLS and runway. Runway track, which shouldn't show until airborne, so that's a slight bug. V1, rotate.
Positive recline, gear up.
And we'll make that left-hand turn in a minute to our first waypoint. Setting climb thrust. Not quite sure, the flight director's not giving us correct information there, but that's okay. Custom Flight Plan Manager will solve that, I'm certain, in future. So at the moment, using the flight directors for vertical but not horizontal guidance, lateral guidance. Although the top right hand corner of the navigation display is telling us it wants us to take us to Lisbon. I'm not convinced. It's looking a bit better now actually. We could just go direct, and that might just kick it into action. Why have I still got SRS and go around track showing? That is strange. That's very strange. So now we've got thrust climb, open climb showing. That's better. And now we've got nav showing. That's working. Okay, that's a bug I've not experienced before. Autopilot 1 can now engage. So, yeah, that was a bit weird. I'll have to rewatch that. but it was showing runway track all the way out, which is why the flight director wasn't taking me to Lisbon. And S-speed, flap 0, spoilers.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb towards our cruising altitude today on this fly-by-wire test flight, please take a moment to fill out the complimentary while-making kit. You'll find this in the pocket of the seat in front of you. Once again, we thank you for being passengers on board this special test flight and promise you that the drinks trolley shall be around shortly. If you have any special requests for today's flight, please contact a member of our cabin crew. You may now also switch back on your electronic devices. However, a reminder that this is a test flight, and so you do so at your own risk. Thank you.
Yeah, so Kelvin, I mean, you're exactly right. We were in J track. It was following J track, it wasn't on nav, which is still a bug because it shouldn't be on the go-around track. No, it wasn't go-around track, was it? I need to rewind that. It wasn't go-around track, it was runway track, which are two different modes, two different things. But one of the reasons we do the FMA and takeoff data checks right at the start is to check that climb and nav is blue. That is armed. That is what should happen once you depart. It shouldn't remain on runway track. So that is a little bit strange. 390, we're good to climb it, follow 390, so let's set that. 390, confirm 390 blue. Hey Dark, good to see you, mate. Can I do an updated graphics setting video? I could do actually, couldn't I? It has of course all changed. What have I got my no smoking signs set to? They should be on, they're not showing. Oh, that's changed. Where does that now show? Oh, they've changed the settings page. Oh, what's this? Failures. Ho ho! I have been missing for a week. Maybe we'll not play with those just yet. Thrust reduction, acceleration, aircraft config. Passenger signs. No, it should be no smoking. And as they're on auto, they should be shown, shouldn't they? Oh well, they are now. Chewie, I quickly saw your DM, mate, but I've been back home less than 24 hours, so give me a chance. Clouds seem to be looking quite nice again. So obviously I can't rewind, but did it change from runway track to go-around track? It did originally show runway track as we were rolling down the runway, because as I pointed out, you shouldn't do that until you're airborne. But did it change to go-around track? If that's the case, then that's very strange. If someone can check that for me, rewind that and see if that happened. Do a nice early arrival briefing as well, given that the flight isn't very long. It's 1 hour's flight time, I think. 1 hour's flight time. And then that is it indeed. A nice short test flight. But very strange to see what happened with the FMAs and the modes at the start of that flight. We confirmed whilst we were on the ground that we had climb and nav both blue, so they were both armed, they were waiting to go. Nav never appeared, and yeah, for some reason it remained in SRS mode too. That's not going to help me accelerate away. Go on then, Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So Art Pepper, before Sim Update 5 you didn't see much difference between the high and ultra clouds, but now there's a noticeable difference for you when you switch to ultra. What about the frame rate hit? Do you get a big frame rate hit, Pepper, when you're swapping between the two? So Christian, seatbelt signs are now off for you. Off you go, lock the door, and please take some air freshener with you. Good to see the weather bug is still no longer an issue. Well, that's been fixed. Hotfix number 2 doing its job, I see. So hopefully I haven't missed too much in the last week. I say, I hope this isn't broken though. I didn't like that takeoff. Those modes for that takeoff didn't do what I was expecting to see at all. 2-3 frames hit, that's nothing to, as long as you're somewhere decent to begin with, Art Pepper, that's not bad, is it? You can live with that for a better graphics and flying experience. Clearly, nothing's been updated from the Azobo side of things while I've been away, because I've had no update, so I've not missed anything there. When's the next update come out? Is it meant to be next week sometime, or is it the week after? We'll all look forward to that as usual. The poor developers scrambling around to try and get their products working again. Art Pepper, you're at 55. What are you doing flying at high? You should be on ultra for everything. Chris on Twitch asks, am I a full-time streamer now? Oh god, no. Nowhere near popular enough for that. Ian, is it the 24th? Thank you. Thank you. So the 24th, when's that? Is that on Tuesday? Is that Tuesday? Wait and see what happens there. That's a sim update, isn't it? No, sorry, a world update. It's a world update, isn't it? Crumpets, there meant to be one today. Really? What's that one doing? Cardinal 22. I've seen this so many times before I went away. So basically, there's, I'm not going to say a rumour because a lot of people have said it, and you know, I'm sure that, you know, no one's lying, but you've seen in another video that the graphics default to medium as soon as you start a flight, depending on what, despite what your flight settings are, your graphic settings are. But then you have to go inside the settings from the flight and reset your graphics in order to get them correct. Well, I've put this to the test, and for me the test was not just a graphics thing, but also your frame rates. So I did that test. I started a flight in developer mode, so I was checking the frame rates. and it was, I don't know, whatever it was, 35. I then went into the sim, downgraded them to medium from my custom preset, and they shot up to 45. So that tells me then, okay, I've downgraded the settings and I've got better frame rates, that's fine. I then put them back to where my custom settings were, and it went back up to 45 again, which to me says that they were always at my custom settings to begin with. It didn't degrade them at all from the start. I've seen proof in one airport, and that is always East Midlands, Echo Golf November X-ray. I've not seen it happen anywhere else. So I don't know if that's just a loading issue of that particular airport. I really don't. Chris, pretty popular if you ask you. Oh, thank you. Not popular enough to be full-time though. Not when you've got 4 kids to feed. Jake, the 24th is your birthday. Oh no, Zoom will ruin it. Colonel 22, you haven't tried it yourself, but you can say last flight over Canada looked like flying over a Minecraft map. Cliff, do I know how to fix Microsoft Flight Simulator crashing on startup? 2 things! Empty the community folder. Make sure you've nothing in it. Not a thing. Completely empty. And then try it. If it still crashes, I'm afraid you have to do a reinstall. And I've also seen people say that they've had like 2 or 3 community folders. What's that all about? No wonder your sim's crashing if you're messing around with that. Crumpet, you can't increase rent scaling above 100 anymore as it causes screen tearing. I've had that too, so I turn on VSync on the NVIDIA control panel rather than the simulator. Right, well, as we're now happily in the cruise, let's have a look at this arrival. So we're coming out of Lisbon, and our first port of call is at Rugby. We want to be flyable 200. Rugby. So let's get that banged in our perf page. We're not going to make flyable, but you know what, I'm going to level off. Let's level off, let's call it 350. We'll level it off there. I'm not going up to 390. $350 blue. We'll be up and then straight back down again. Carl, this version of the aircraft will be available when when the next stable build is released on the marketplace. But I think they've got to get the sim a bit more stable first. Cliff, you're reinstalling it now for the 3rd time and your community folder is empty. Wow. That's no fun, is it? Right, so here we are, we're using our cruising altitude for today, flight level 350, because I'm not going up as far high as 390. So we'll start our descent about 50 miles from Rugby. So, well, we've got a bit of time to sit and chill for a bit. And there we go, Mac Alt Star, we'll have Alt Cruise in a moment. I might tell you about my holiday and how I now need another one to replace it. Okay, there we go. And Alt Cruise. Beautiful.